Every time you stay in a hotel, you believe the door protects you. But what if the door was never meant to keep people out, only to keep you calm? Hotels are designed to feel temporary. You arrive, you sleep, you leave. But behind that simplicity exists a system far more complex than most people realize. And it begins long before you enter your room. The moment you check in, you become a data profile. Your name, your payment method, your ID, your stay duration, all logged, all stored, and in many cases shared. Most guests assume hotel privacy works like home privacy. It doesn't. Hotels operate under different rules, both legally and practically. And those rules heavily favor the system, not the guest. Your key card is not just a key. It records the exact time you enter, how often you leave when you return, and which doors you attempt to access. Even failed attempts are logged. This data is rarely deleted immediately. Sometimes it's stored for months, sometimes longer. Now, consider the cameras. Hotels are covered in them, not just in lobbies, but hallways, elevators, stairwells, service corridors, places most guests assume are neutral zones. But these cameras aren't just recording, they're watching patterns. How long you stand in one place, how often you leave your room, whether you return alone. Unusual behavior doesn't mean illegal behavior, but it does mean attention. And attention changes how you're treated. There are areas in hotels guests never see. Restricted floors, back corridors, control rooms. These spaces are not designed for comfort. They're designed for oversight. And once you're in them, you don't control the situation. Hotel staff have more access than people realize. Under standard policy, staff can enter your room for maintenance, safety checks, noise complaints, suspected damage. You do not need to be present. You are not always notified. Sometimes entry is logged. Sometimes it isn't. Hotels also quiet. Hotels also quietly cooperate with authorities. Guest lists, room access, billing data. In many jurisdictions, this can happen without a warrant, especially in cases labeled as preventative or security related. You may never know your information was shared. And then there are the incidents no one talks about. Hotels are one of the most common locations for unexplained medical emergencies, violent altercations, sudden disappearances. Most never reach the news. They are handled internally, discreetly, efficiently. Silence protects the brand. If something happens in your room, the hotel's first priority is not you, it's containment. The psychological design of hotels makes this easier. Identical floors, repeating layouts, neutral colors. It's easy to lose orientation, and disoriented people are easier to guide and control. Lighting is intentional. So is sound, so is temperature. Everything is designed to keep guests compliant, calm, and predictable. Not comfortable, predictable. Hotels are also transit hubs, which makes them ideal for activities that rely on anonymity. Crowds, constant movement, short-term presence. People pass through without being remembered, and sometimes without being noticed. Even staff rarely see the full picture. Departments are isolated. Security sees one layer. Management sees another. Housekeeping sees almost nothing. No single person has full awareness. That's not a flaw. That's the design. The darkest truth? Hotels are not neutral spaces. They are controlled environments optimized for efficiency, monitoring, and risk reduction, not for privacy. When you stay in a hotel, you are not a guest. You are a temporary variable in a system designed to move on without you. You leave, the room resets, the next person arrives, but the data remains. And the next time you close a hotel room door, you might wonder, who else knows you're inside?